There are certain objects that almost every household has, but very few people realize that these very items might be silently draining all the good fortune, making the atmosphere in your home heavy and gloomy. They can lead to tension in the family, unexplained arguments, and even financial losses that seem to come out of nowhere, from things so familiar and seemingly harmless that you stop noticing them altogether. Many people believe that bad luck comes from the outside, from work, from society, or from some vague concept of unlucky periods. But the truth is, when the flow of energy in your home is blocked or disrupted, your living space turns dark and stagnant. Slowly, every aspect of your life begins to fall out of alignment. You might feel mentally exhausted, relationships grow tense, and money just seems to slip away for no clear reason. This is not just coincidence. It is a sign that you are living amidst a flow of energy that has been disturbed. This video is here to help you identify what could be invisibly suffocating the life energy in your home, and to show you the simplest way to clear out your space and bring that life force back in. This way, your home can become a place of healing, not a place that drains you more every day. Stay with us until the end of this video, because what you are about to discover could be the beginning of a life that feels lighter, luckier, and more peaceful than you ever imagined. Before we dive in, leave a comment below. I am ready to let go unwelcome positive energy, because sometimes, by clearing just one small thing, you are already opening the door for something much greater to enter your life. And if you find these insights helpful, do not forget to hit that subscribe button for Harmony teachings, so you never miss out on practical Feng Shui wisdom that helps you live in greater harmony and prosperity every single day. So now, let us begin the journey to uncover the hidden energy disruptors lurking right inside your home. Do not be too quick to doubt it, because the deeper we go, the more surprises you are going to discover. Number 1. The incomplete energy of broken, undamaged items. Alright, let's start with the first one. When something in the house gets chipped, cracked, or broken, most people tend to brush it off. A chipped glass is still good enough to drink from. A wobbly chair, just sit carefully. But in Feng Shui, those just slightly damaged items carry more weight than you might think. They represent incomplete energy, and that affects not just the physical surroundings, but also your mindset and the flow of energy throughout your home. Every object in your living space emits a certain frequency, whether it is a table, a lamp, or even a photo frame. When those items are intact, the energy they release is steady and whole. But once they are cracked or broken, that energy becomes distorted. It is like a stream of water that flows smoothly until it hits a rock. The flow gets disrupted, and that disruption creates blockages in your home's energy field. Broken objects symbolize loss, fragmentation, and lack. And when you allow those things to remain in your living space, even unconsciously, you are reinforcing a message over and over. I accept things being incomplete. This can gradually affect your emotions, making you feel unsafe, uncertain about stability in your relationships, and even attracting financial issues or emotional disconnection. We once had a client who was incredibly organized and detail-oriented, but she had a large mirror hanging by her front door, slightly cracked in one corner. She said, "It is fine, it still works." But when we dug deeper, she was going through a chaotic phase in her family life. And in Feng Shui, a mirror represents reflection. So when the reflection is broken, is it really surprising that life begins to mirror the brokenness? The solution is not complicated. You do not need to renovate your entire home or spend a fortune. Just start by noticing broken, chipped, or cracked items, and choose to either repair or replace them as soon as possible. That action is not just maintenance. It is a statement that you value your space and the energy that nurtures your everyday life. Number 2. the emotional broadcast of your artwork. Next up, let's talk about something you look at every day. In Feng Shui, artwork is not just decoration. It is part of your home's emotional broadcast system. A painting with soft, uplifting imagery can help energy flow more freely through your home, creating a relaxing and joyful environment. On the other hand, negative visuals such as sad faces, ruined landscapes, or sharp, chaotic brush strokes can generate disturbing energy that affects your mood, your mindset, and even the harmony within your relationships. Some people hang up paintings just because they look cool or unique, or simply because it was a gift from someone. But if that image carries a negative message, it is not just sitting there to look pretty. Its impact is long-term and silent, like playing sad music all day without realizing that it is slowly draining your spirit. Feng Shui calls this the normalization of negative energy. When you let a dark image stay long enough, it becomes a default part of your home. Over time, it starts to influence your emotional state, your thoughts, and even your decisions. That does not mean your home needs to look like a flower and bird gallery to have good energy. But take a moment to look at the artwork in your space. How does it make you feel when you see it? If it brings a sense of calm, peace, or lightness, that is a good sign. But if it makes you feel uneasy, drained, or cold, then maybe it is time to reconsider. Remember, pictures are visual words. They do not need sound or language, yet they deliver a clear emotional message. A home filled with warm, positive images is like a body surrounded by blessings, constantly being nourished by good energy. Number 3. The lingering energy of a loved one's belongings. Now, this next one can be a sensitive topic, but it's very important. When someone we love passes away, the first instinct we often have is to keep as many of their belongings as possible. Clothes, books, personal items, even the smallest mementos, just to hold on to their memory. It is a natural expression of grief and love, a way to feel connected. But from a Feng Shui perspective, keeping too many items from those who have passed on can unintentionally cause a stagnation in your home's energy flow. Your home is meant to nurture the energy of the present. It is the place where you continue to live, breathe, love, and grow. When it is filled with too many items belonging to someone who is no longer here, especially close personal items like clothes, shoes, or bedding, they carry a kind of energy that has stopped, energy that no longer moves. If the energy of the past dominates too strongly, it blocks the flow of new energy, the energy of life, renewal, and growth, from circulating naturally in your space. Feng Shui does not tell you to forget your loved one, but it does encourage you to keep that connection in a meaningful and selective way, by preserving only the items that truly carry deep emotional value, and placing them in a respectful, quiet area, perhaps a small memorial corner or a memory box, not scattered all over the house. Keeping everything without realizing it can trap your mind in the past. You might not notice it right away, but you may find it hard to start something new, hard to move forward, feeling stuck, tired, or as if something is always pulling you back when you try to change. So the goal is not to forget or cut ties. It is to transform your love into respect, so those who have passed can rest in peace, and those who are living can continue to move forward with a full heart. You can still keep a few special items, maybe an old handkerchief, a heartfelt letter, or a small keepsake, as long as it brings you warmth when you look at it, and not heaviness or sorrow. Number 4. The symbolism of wilted and dead plants. Let's move on to something green. Or maybe, not so green. In Feng Shui, green plants are far more than simple decorations. Every fresh green leaf and every sprouting branch symbolizes life, vitality, and the ongoing flow of energy. Plants represent growth, the ability to thrive despite challenges, just like fresh energy continuously flowing through your living space. But when a plant begins to wither, turn yellow, or worse, completely die, the energy it emits changes entirely. Instead of freshness and life, it becomes a source of dead energy, something that quietly makes the space feel heavier and more stagnant. Aesthetically, a wilted plant makes any room look lifeless, but beyond appearances, it is all about energy. In Feng Shui, anything that has lost its vitality tends to attract still, unmoving energy, and that stops the natural flow. If your home has several dying plants and you are keeping them around, it is no different than inviting stagnation and fatigue into your space. The air starts to feel dull and heavy, like living in an abandoned garden where nothing is growing anymore. From a modern psychological perspective, seeing a wilted plant every day can subconsciously trigger feelings of sadness or decay. Our brains are highly sensitive to visual cues. When we constantly see something that lacks life, our mind begins to associate it with decline and loss. This can rag down your mood and chip away at your natural optimism, especially if you are going through a rough patch. The presence of a dying plant can reinforce your sadness instead of soothing it. What makes this different from, say, a broken object or faulty appliance is that a dead plant once had. It is not just an item, it was a living thing. That is why the dead energy it holds has a stronger emotional impact, often triggering a sense of grief or heaviness more intensely. If a plant is truly dead, do not hesitate to throw it away and replace it with a fresh, healthy one. If it is just struggling, then take the time to care for it. Change the soil, trim the yellow leaves, and give it sunlight. That act of nurturing the plant is not just about saving it. It is also how you revive the fresh energy in your home. Every time you care for a plant, you are also caring for your own spiritual energy and your financial luck. Number 5. The disruptive vibrations of faulty electronics. Now for something you might not have thought about. In a modern home, electrical devices are absolutely essential. From small items like desk lamps and fans, to larger systems like air conditioners, washing machines, or refrigerators. But here is something most people overlook. Every electrical device is a source of vibration, and when that device becomes faulty, starts malfunctioning, or is simply unused for too long, the vibrations it emits turn into subtle disruptions within your living space. In Feng Shui, electrical appliances are considered artificial energy generators. When they work well, they help the energy in your home flow smoothly. They cool, light, and support the steady functioning of your environment. But the moment a device becomes unstable, or worse, stops working and is just left there, the energy it gives off becomes scattered, inconsistent, and broken. Lights that flicker, machines that make strange buzzing sounds, or electrical outlets that spark. These are not just inconveniences. They create a kind of chaotic energy field that blocks the stable flow of positive energy in your home. You might think, it is fine, I am not using it anyway, so I will just leave it there. But keeping broken appliances or outdated electronics that are no longer in use is like having exposed wires lying around. They take up space, block the flow, and delay the entry of fresh energy into your space. Energy gets stuck in those areas, creating a sense of stagnation and pressure that can be hard to explain with logic alone. There is another subtle layer here too. In Feng Shui, electrical devices represent the element of fire. When that fire energy is unstable, like flickering lights, short circuits, or noisy machines, it can disturb your emotional and mental balance. It often leads to restlessness, trouble sleeping, and a short temper, even if you are not consciously aware of it. This is especially important in the bedroom, where faulty electronics can energetically disrupt your sleep, even if everything seems quiet on the surface. So here is what you can do. If the device still has value and can be repaired, get it fixed right away. If it is outdated, broken beyond use, or simply no longer needed, be brave and let it go. Sell it, donate it, or recycle it. Whatever works. Doing this not only clears up physical clutter, but also releases long stuck energy, knots that have been clogging up your home for far too long. Once you start clearing those things out, you will likely feel lighter, think more clearly, and you might even be surprised at how things in your life begin to flow better again. From your work and mental clarity, to your relationships, everyday items that need regular refreshing. But it is not just broken items that generate negative energy. There are everyday things you still use, seemingly harmless, but the longer you keep them, the more they accumulate stagnant energy. That is why Feng Shui recommends replacing them regularly. Number 1. Bedding and bedroom items. Let's start with the bedroom. The bedroom is where you rest and restore energy after a long day. And from a Feng Shui perspective, it is the most sensitive space in your entire home. If the living room is where energy enters, and the kitchen is where it is nourished, then the bedroom is where energy is preserved. That means every item in your bedroom, especially your blanket, pillow, and bed sheets, directly affects the quality of energy you absorb while you sleep. You may not notice it, but the pillow you sleep on every night does not just absorb sweat, fabric, lint, or bacteria. It also holds onto the energy of your thoughts, your emotions, and your fatigue from sleep. Over time, it starts to store a layer of old energy, making it harder for you to sleep deeply. You may have more vivid dreams, or even wake up feeling tired despite getting enough hours of rest. Feng Shui recommends replacing your pillow every 1 to 2 years, not just for hygiene, but also to renew the energy of the place where your body recharges each night. Blankets work the same way. Even if a blanket looks clean after 3 or 4 years of use, it tends to feel heavier compared to a new one. That heaviness is not just from its thickness, it comes from static, stale energy that has settled into the fabric over time. Feng Shui views your blanket as an energetic layer you wrap around yourself every night. If that layer is worn out, thin, or energetically depleted, your body does not receive the protection and balance it needs. The recommendation: replace your blanket every 2 to 3 years, or sooner if you start to notice it feels off. You can also refresh it regularly by washing it, letting it dry in sunlight, and lightly spraying it with calming essential oils like lavender or jasmine. These small actions help keep the bedroom energy clean, fresh, and pleasant. A well-maintained sleep space does more than improve your rest. It helps you recharge with positive energy, think more clearly, and even experience lighter, more peaceful dreams. Number 2. Personal items like clothing and towels. Now, let's talk about things that touch your skin every day. If bedding supports your sleep, then personal items like clothing, underwear, and towels are the energy shell that touches your body every single day. Many people keep their clothes for years, especially underwear or towels, simply because they are still usable, not torn, not damaged. But in Feng Shui, it is not about how worn out something looks. It is about how much old energy it has absorbed. Clothing follows you through everything: work, social situations, happy moments, stressful times, even illness. Each layer of fabric picks up some emotional residue. This is especially true for underwear and towels. Since they are the closest to your body, they absorb energy more deeply, and no matter how well you wash or dry them in the sun, after a while, their energy cannot be fully refreshed. Feng Shui suggests replacing underwear every 3 to 6 months, not only for hygiene, but to ensure you are not carrying old emotional residue with you each day. The same goes for towels. You use them to dry your body, but they also hold the energy you are trying to release. Towels should be replaced every 6 months to 1 year, and washed and dried frequently in the sun to cleanse any lingering negative energy. As for clothing in general, you do not need to throw out every out- season item, but take time to reflect. Which outfit no longer feels like you when you wear it? Which one is tied to a sad memory? Which one has been sitting in your closet for over a year without being worn? That is your signal to let it go. Your wardrobe, like the energy in your home, needs space to breathe in order to welcome something new. Number 3. The stagnant energy of old trash bins. And finally, let's talk about something we all have, but rarely think about. In Feng Shui, the trash bin is seen as a storage for discarded energy. If your bin is dirty, broken, lidless, or trash is left in it for too long, it is like keeping a pocket of bad energy right inside your home. The polluted energy from trash affects more than just hygiene and smell. It spreads stagnant energy throughout the space. This can cause fatigue, random irritability, and most importantly, it can block wealth and luck. In Feng Shui, bad energy in the kitchen or living room can clog the flow of abundance and prosperity. The trash bin in your living room is especially important to manage. This room is considered the energy hub of your home, and a dirty bin can throw that balance off. Meanwhile, the kitchen trash bin, closely linked to money and nourishment, if left full or smelly, can taint the energy of your food and block financial flow. That is why Feng Shui advises taking out the trash every day, or at the very least, not leaving it overnight. Always use a trash bin with a lid to keep the bad energy contained. And here is a simple but powerful tip. Sprinkle a little sea salt at the bottom of the bin. Salt has the ability to absorb and neutralize negative energy. Also, if your bin is too old, cracked, smelly, or can no longer be cleaned properly, it is time to replace it. A clean, sealed trash bin placed in the right spot may seem like a small detail, but it makes a huge difference in how your home feels. You might notice your space feels lighter, clearer, and your mind more relaxed, often without realizing why. It is because the bad energy no longer has a place to cling to. And remember, even the things you intend to throw away deserve to be handled with care. In Feng Shui, there is no such thing as something harmless. The real question is whether you are sensitive enough to notice its impact. Even a trash bin, if treated properly, can help your home stay filled with clean, uplifting energy. Conclusion. So let's wrap things up. When you start to look closely at every item in your home, from the pillow you have used for years, the clothes you no longer wear, to the clock that stopped ticking, or the trash bin that is constantly overflowing, you begin to realize something important. Everything around you is contributing to the flow of energy you are living with every single day. Feng Shui is not some vague superstition or distant spiritual belief. It is a very practical and subtle art, one that helps you live in greater harmony with your space. And sometimes, just one small action, like replacing an old towel, organizing a drawer, or throwing out something broken, is enough to unblock stagnant energy that has been stuck for far too long. That simple shift can open the door for comfort, good fortune, and fresh inspiration to come flowing back into your life. Believe this. Every time you let go of something that no longer fits your life, you are making space for something better to arrive. And your home, the place that supports your spirit, your personal nest where you are nourished daily, deserves to be treated as a sacred space where positive energy is constantly being refreshed and renewed. If you found today's insights helpful, do not forget to hit that subscribe button for Harmony Teachings, so that every week we can continue to explore the simple yet powerful secrets of practical Feng Shui, helping you live a life that is more prosperous and peaceful, one day at a time. And be sure to leave a comment below. I am ready to renew the energy of my life, starting with my beloved home. Who knows, Maybe this small affirmation today is the very first doorway to bigger changes ahead.